Hello guys, it's Darkman and today I'm doing a review of my DVD/Blu-ray collection requested by some Swedish guy, so let's get started. I'll start to say how I sort a bit things out. Here I just have my Blu-rays and you have like the carton Blu-rays and steelbook shits and just pretty much horror until down here until it gets a bit more serious movies and yeah, serious and it pretty much goes to some cartoony films and also have like a special place again for carton DVDs. Like this whole row is just carton because I really hate it when carton DVDs are put like next to plastic DVDs and it just doesn't look nice when they're just flat against each other. If like a carton one is there and they'll be like fucking ugly sticking out like that. So let's get started on the first. I'll start off with the horror section. Alright, I start off with the classics, of course. I have the original Nosferatu of 1922, Dracula, also the original from 1931, Frankenstein, original, the sequel Bride of Frankenstein, the sequel of that, The Son of Frankenstein, and I think this is a sequel of Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, called House of Frankenstein. And then you have The Mummy, Werewolf of London. This one came out before The Wolfman. And then I have The Invisible Man. And then I have 2 copies of The Wolfman. The reason I have 2 copies is because this one has more extras. Yeah, I was having this Wolfman hype at the time, so I had to get it. Then I have The Phantom of the Opera, Creature of the Black Lagoon, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the 1931 version and the 1941 version. Then I have The Fly, The Terror. This is a pretty interesting cult film. It's directed by Jack Nicholson and Francis Ford Coppola and some other guys. It's a really weird movie and it has an interesting history, so I suggest you look it up. And then I have this thing. This is probably the worst movie I have in my collection. It's called War of the Colossal Beast, and it's one of the. It's a cheesy B movie, but it's really bad and it's badly made. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time, The Evil Dead. Of course, this DVD doesn't say D, but it's actually The Evil Dead. And I gotta say, this kind of defined me as a filmmaker, like the possibilities. So great film experience and great horror movie. And you have its great sequel, The Evil Dead 2. Loved it too. And of course the great cult classic Army of Darkness. One of the movies which have one of the best quotes of all time. Like, whenever I see this movie I get happy, just like when I see The Big Lebowski. And then you have the original George A. Romero film, Night of the Living Dead. This is the color version, but I have a black and white version, so we'll get to that. And then we have the original Dawn of the Dead. Pretty cool sequel. Kinda liked it. And then we have Friday the 13th. I actually stole this DVD from my sister, so fucker. And then I have Suspiria, Inferno, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's a weird sequel to a very good film, but it's entertaining. Also, one of the best vampire movies of all time, Fright Night. God, I love this movie. Remake was bad. Fogged by John Carpenter, didn't like this one. That was just like Quentin Tarantino it was good if you like smoke pot or something. It's just 45 minutes of chicks talking shit, and then you have like one of the best car chase scenes ever made. It's weird. And then you have Eli Roth's Cabin Fever. I liked it a lot the first time, but I didn't like it that much the second time. It's a hilarious movie. And then you have like 4 Hammer Dracula movies starring Christopher Lee. I've seen the first two, these two, and they were pretty good. The first one is really good. Alright, gonna move down the lighting. Next up is Maximum Overdrive. This is an action movie directed by Stephen King, and he did pretty well, I think. It was fun. It has Emilio Estevez. He's awesome. Sorry for that. And then if American Werewolf from London, great werewolf movie. The original The Thing from Another World, which I kind of liked for some reason, I don't know. And then we have the original The Thing, also one of the great horror movies ever made. I think I enjoyed it the first 3 times, but it kind of gets old after the 4th. The Wolfman, the remake, which I liked, and Universal didn't seem to, for some reason. I saw the director's cut of it, and it was kind of longer, and the pacing was kind of off, and there wasn't really any emotions, but great werewolf action. For that, I really enjoyed it. Blade, great vampire movie shit. The original, Halloween. This is probably one of the... I saw this when I was 13 years old, and it blew my mind. I mean, how effective this film was for its simpleness. Loved it. And it's kind of like the predecessor to my Evil Dead. Halloween 4 and 5. I bought these because they were really cheap and I was a Halloween fan, but they sucked ass, man. Then this one I bought recently, Near Dark. It's by Catherine Bigelow. You might know her from the Oscar-winning director of that movie. I don't remember. It was okay. I don't see the cult classicness in it, but okay. And then with Black Christmas. Pretty awesome Black Christmas movie. Well, the first slashers movies. Real good one. Obscene scenes. Always awesome. Next up, A Nightmare on Elm Street. This scared the shit out of me when I was a kid and I didn't even see the movie. The remake of Dawn of the Dead. Really good remake. One of the few. From Dusk Till Dawn, of course. Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez team up. You get awesomeness. 7, great serial kill movie. David Fincher. Seeing The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo next week. Looking forward to that. Paranormal Activity. I'll say I took a big shit on this movie when I saw the trailer. I was like, this is gonna be fucking shit. Like, they show the trailer where you see the audience reaction and you just know they're just a bunch of dumbasses. And this movie is gonna be like shit, and I saw it, and I mean, I shit my pants when I saw this, and fuck me for bashing this movie the first time before even seeing it. One of the greatest mistakes I've made. 30 Days of Night, it was okay. It's just okay, 3.5 out of 5. Saw. Whoa, one of the greatest thrillers. This isn't a horror movie, this is a thriller. And it should have stayed one movie. Yeah, I know I have the sequels right here, but I enjoyed those and they were cheap, so I bought them. And then I found this a couple of weeks ago. Bad Taste. Like, I've been looking for this movie for years in DVD stores and online for a Dutch release, and what the fuck, I found it around the corner in a dirty ass shop. What the fuck was it doing there? I don't know. Alright, we have The Prestige, Christopher Nolan movie. I think this might be his best film next to Batman Begins, because I think I've seen this movie like 7 times for some reason. It's just interesting. Oh, and here we have two of the greatest action films of all time, The Terminator and Terminator 2. Terminator 2. I love this film. Arnold Schwarzenegger, awesome. Great plot. And this is the only porno you will find in my collection. It's Caligula. I haven't watched this yet. I've seen like the first 20 minutes and I kinda got sick, and that doesn't happen to me a lot, so I really need time before I see this. Alright, I think, yeah, that was kind of the end of the horror there. We're kind of at the bottom here. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. It's a sequel to Desperado, and probably Robert Rodriguez's best film, and it's pretty much Desperado again. A bunch of more characters, and Johnny Depp was pretty awesome, but the script was awful, and there were just too many actors in there, so I didn't like it. And then we have a movie made by me, Zombie Attack 2. I think it's probably the best film I've made so far, so I'm proud of that. So I have it on DVD here. Fever of Vendetta, love that film. Watchmen. Oh, you're gonna find this copy of Watchmen many times in my collection, you'll see soon. This is the Black Freighter. It's the short animated film made for the film. If you read the comic books, you'll understand what the Black Freighter is. This is Donnie Darko, the theatrical version of the director's cut too. You'll see it soon. Battle Royale. Picked this up very cheaply. It was surprisingly very awesome, but I'm not sure if it's called classic worthy. Alright, some Tarantino shit. Jackie Brown. People say it is the least Quentin Tarantino film, but I don't think it is. I think it's one of his best, and I love this film. Chicks with guns. Fuck yeah. Kill Bill. I remember having ups and downs with this film. I remember like really loving it, and now I'm kind of like meh. But now maybe I'll see it again. Maybe if I see it again, maybe I'll be like, I fucking love this film. The Hosts. Good monster movie. Pulp Fiction. Do I need to say more? Inception. I got this DVD before I got my Blu-ray, so yeah, that's why. Next up, let's go up. Alright, we're at the top again. Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino, of course. Love this film. The first two Rambo movies, I got these because I was kind of curious why people liked them, and I was like, they were pretty okay. I kind of like First Blood First Blood Part 2 more than the first part, because it had awesome action scenes written by James Cameron, and he's awesome until he made Avatar. The Day the Earth Stood Still. Wow. Oh, this isn't the remake, this is the original movie. The remake is one of the worst pieces of shit I ever seen. Just mentioning that. And this is like one of those movies where by the end you just don't say anything and just feel woed. Like shit. Oh, and this is one of the greatest cop films of all time, Dirty Harry. Gotta love Clint Eastwood. He's this one really awesome gritty film. Ballsy, 18 plus. And of course, Darkman. Directed by Sam Raimi, and I don't know why he made this. He's a good filmmaker, but does anybody even remember this film? I think it's based on a comic, and